In my late 20s, I worked in Tokyo for 3 years and had a lot of different lovers while there. Probably 2 or 3 a week the whole time I lived in Tokyo. I had learned basic conversational Japanese so I could converse with the locals comfortably. I was single, completely amoral and loving life. My seduction success rate in Japan was nearly 100% of the times I tried, something that would never happen back in the USA, of course. You see, I had also learned that most Japanese women have a secret fantasy to sleep with a white guy. And I learned all the right things to say to make a Japanese woman feel comfortable and safe enough to fulfill her fantasy with me. It was just too easy. Once they were sure I was safe, they saw their chance and took it. Nearly every time, this was clearly something they would never have done with a Japanese man. I got laid whenever I wanted with whomever I wanted. When I left Japan, I moved to Hawaii, and since there were so many Japanese tourists on Oahu, whenever I wanted to have fun, I would just go to Waikiki Beach, find a Japanese woman, and ask her for help. I was now always successful, as the Japanese inhibitions are even lessened when they are out of the country, and no one in their social circle could ever find out. They even have a phrase to describe this drop in inhibition. Tab, I know Haji wa kakasut. This literally means, you feel no shame when you're away from home. I was their perfect shameless opportunity to fulfill a deep, seated fantasy, and I was more than happy to do so. After I met them at the beach and chatted for a bit, I would invite them for a drink or for a bite to eat. Then over the drink, I would invite them to come home with me. They always did, always, every single time. It worked even if they were traveling with another female friend, as whichever one was the obvious object of my seduction, the other would know it. Or they would make a silent agreement somehow as to who would get lucky. I would ask them both to join me, and then one would always politely say,
"I need to go back to the hotel,"
knowing full well that her friend was going to get her fantasy fulfilled. Great wing women, the Japanese. One day I approached a particularly attractive woman sunbathing on the beach alone. I chatted a bit with her in Japanese, said all the usual things in my routine to make her feel comfortable that I was normal and safe, then asked if she would like to have a drink or lunch. She did not follow the expected template. Instead, she said,
"Do you live nearby? Let's go there."
Okay. She pulled a t-shirt on over her bikini, stuffed her beach towel into her bag, and we were off. When we got to my apartment, I asked if she would like something to drink. She said,
"Nothing, thanks,"
and took off her t-shirt and put it on the counter. I was standing in my kitchen, still holding the refrigerator door open, and I suspect my mouth was open too at that point. I was transfixed. I realized she was in control. She then said,
"Can I see your bedroom?"
and I think I said yes. I took the hint and headed to the bedroom. She was already waiting for me when we got there and immediately climbed on my bed. I joined as soon as I could, and the activities were varied and fantastic. She was resourceful, she had a clear list of what she wanted to do, and she wasn't afraid to ask for it. She loved it, and I did everything she asked, and in every other way I could think of. I thought it was time to take a break. I was exhausted. I asked her if she wanted to go out to dinner, and then come back and stay the night to continue. She said she couldn't do it. She asked me for napkins to clean it up. Then she unceremoniously got up, walked back to my kitchen, and got ready to leave. I still remember how amazing she looked from the back as she walked away. She was gorgeous. The image is etched in my brain. I said, "Why not have dinner with me?" She explained that she had come to Hawaii for a vacation with her brother yesterday, and he had gotten sick before arrival. He was in the hotel room sleeping yesterday, and still is. He would be up soon, and she wanted to check on him and see if he wanted to eat something. I offered to walk her back to the beach. She declined that offer, saying she knew the way. I was somewhat shocked by this, but said, "Okay," and kissed her once more, and she left. I thought it was all strange and atypical for Japanese people. but she was so wonderful, and I considered myself very, very lucky and had a relaxing dinner at home alone and then a very restful sleep. Before 8 a.m. the next morning there was a knock on my door. She was back. She was wearing a different bikini and tee. We immediately had a repeat performance of what happened the day before. It was even better the second, or should I say fourth, fifth, and sixth time around. In fact, it was, and still is, the best, most passionate event in my life. When I had run out of power, I finally realized I should politely ask about her brother. Was he feeling better? She said,
I am sorry, I lied about my brother. I came to Hawaii for my honeymoon, and my husband was playing golf yesterday while I was at the beach. He is playing golf again now. I've always wanted to have fun with a white man, and when I met you, I thought it would be my only chance in life, now that I'm married. Thank you so much.
I suppose my shock was obvious, as I simply didn't know what to say and said nothing. So she continued,
I must go now. He will be back to the hotel soon.
and with that she left. She didn't even ask for tissues this time. She just put on a t-shirt. Then she gave me the quick little head and shoulder nod that Japanese do to feign a bow as a way to indicate thank you, and then she was gone forever. Wow. However, I realized that I had met my match. This woman was morally bankruptcy. What kind of person can fulfill a fantasy that does not involve their significant other on their honeymoon? Even I could not do that. The event made me realize that it was time to change my tomcat ways, but I also admit that I still think fondly of the amazing time I had with this unusual